of challenges in this market here. So especially in the Southeast Asia market, not that much in Australia. So in Australia, the market is rather mature. It almost behaves like in the U.S., where people are very comfortable actually going to the .com site of a brand and ordering there. And Southeast Asia is still significantly more rudimentary or basic in consumer behavior. So not a lot of people are actually even using e-commerce yet. So when they go to a brand site, they don't even expect it to be e-commerce enabled. So there's still quite a lot of work from a consumer perception perspective that people start realizing that you can actually buy directly from a brand site or from a manufacturer. At the same time, there's quite a lot of fakes here, especially outside of Singapore. So if you go to markets like the Philippines or Malaysia, there still is quite a lot of people that sell fakes. So there, the brand side has a unique opportunity to make sure that if you go to a Levi's.com, that you can be pretty sure that you get a real deal versus going to any of the marketplaces. There isn't anything that is similar to a Tmall that's actually operating in this part of the world. We have an omni-channel model that allows them to ship to store, to pack from within store, but then also to order from store. So these are the three main functions. So that it becomes very easy for the brands to at least get started with an omni-channel experience. In a lot of cases, the IT platforms aren't as sophisticated, so from a POS perspective, and you can obviously only have a true omni-channel integration if you know what's available in the store. So if you can't reliably tell a customer that you can't pick up this product in store, there's no point of us telling this customer they can pick it up, because that then causes quite a lot of customer frustration once he's actually in the store. Payment is rather, is a big challenge for us for two reasons. First of all, that all the countries are different from their payment systems. So there's different payment systems in Malaysia versus Indonesia versus Thailand. Then secondly is that the legal frameworks are also different. So in a lot of the markets, you need to have a specific license to sell online. So without that license, you're not even allowed to sell online. So specifically Thailand, Indonesia, and those markets. So what we do is that we act as the online franchisee for the brand. So when you go to the site in Malaysia, for example, we actually are the merchant of record. So we take care of everything there. And that then allows us to only use one legal setup for multiple brands. Fraud is also a big challenge, literally all across Southeast Asia except for Singapore. So when you go to the Philippines or when you go to Malaysia, fraud rates are fairly high. So we've put in a fraud management system that helps us eliminate at least most of the fraud. So we do that. So we have one part of our own system, and then the other part is together with CyberSource that analyzes all the transactions for potential fraud. Then from a data security, what I mentioned there is that that most of the big brands, one of their biggest concern is the security of their customers' data. So they do a rather thorough security audit on literally all of our sites. We've put in a integration into most of the carriers that we work with. So in Singapore, it's very straightforward. It's actually our own company, and so our mother company. In Malaysia, we own a big chunk of a company called GDEX. So we've integrated the tracking into these companies, so we know exactly when they actually receive it and when a customer signs that he actually received the product, or when there was a thing called a delivery scan. And what our system does, it has SLAs for all the various locations. So let's say, for example, you send something from Singapore to Eastern Malaysia, which usually takes about 3 days. If our system doesn't receive a delivery scan within that 3 days, then our operation teams gets alerted. And then that operations team, if it doesn't get the delivery scan on day 4, will then proactively call the customer and tell them that there's something wrong. For Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, Philippines, and Indonesia, that's all integrated. Thailand, we're still working on that because there the carrier doesn't have an API to send us once the customer actually once they actually did the delivery scan. They actually, in some of the countries, they don't even have scans. So they only give us the data at the end of the day, what's all they delivered.
Thank you for those wonderful insights, Marcelo. Stay tuned for more from our omni-channel Asia experts.